fuck's sake.
Mate.
Joking. What the fuck is that?
Maybe just climb up from the side, just make it a little smoother, yeah?
Oh, I wanted it to be cool, man.
Just have another go, you might be able to get it. So, you want to get your first muscle up. Maybe you've just started calisthenics, or you're looking to get into the skill side of things, you've built a solid base, and you want to get into the fun stuff, so you want to learn a muscle up. This video is going to give you everything you need to get that first muscle up. I'm not a PT, I have no education in sports or science or anything like that. Everything I've ever learned is just from watching videos online and then teaching myself in the parks. So take my advice with a pinch of salt. I think it's worth mentioning that different things are going to work for different people. I still think what I have to say is pretty valuable, and it's certainly helped me a lot, so hopefully you'll find it useful as well. A little bit of background on me. I've been training calisthenics for about 2.5 years now, or just under. I've been able to take my muscle ups from this to now these. So I'm certainly not, at that elite level. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I feel like I've been training muscle ups for a long enough time to talk about it. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and that's why I'm making this video. So the first thing I'd focus on is just building a really solid base. You want to have 10 straight bar dips, 8 super clean pull-ups, and 3 clean high pull-ups. So I'm going to demonstrate to you what all of those look like. So clean pull-ups, 8 of them. Let your whole body kind of stretch all the way down, and you want to touch the bar onto your chest, like so. You want to be doing 8 of those. High pull-ups, the difference between those and a normal pull-up is, instead of just pulling and touching the bar on your chest, you kind of want to pull a bit higher and have it kind of rest on your abs there. So you want to be doing 3 of those. You want to be doing 10 straight bar dips, just to get used to that ending of the movement as well. Straight bar dip. Straight bar dip looks like this. So you want 10 of those. Think of your first muscle up as just getting used to getting above the bar. Doesn't need to be clean, doesn't need to be perfect. My first muscle up was done with no technique. I was just doing whatever I could to just get over and just get used to that movement. It's okay to cheat. And 2 things that are, I guess, considered cheating with a muscle up that are going to help you get that first one are kipping your knees. So when you're going for it and you start to pull, at the same time you want to lift your knees up to give you that extra momentum. So I'll show you what that looks like. Like that. You just fly above the bar. Second thing is just to focus on splitting it into 2 movements. Think of it as just your high pull-ups, which you've been training. You can already do 3 of those. And then once you've gone past that high pull-up stage, just imagine kind of putting all of your weight onto your chest, and you'll naturally just fall on top of the bar. And then when you're on top of the bar, you're just doing your straight bar dip. So you split them into 2 movements. If you implement that with your kipping of the knees, it will look like this. Weight on the bar, straight bar dip like that. That will just make it so much easier for you. Now I'm going to go into some specific tips that really helped me. First one is just focusing on that wrist transition. I think a lot of the time when people go for it, they don't emphasize enough how much transitioning your wrist position is going to help you. So focusing on the wrist transition is going to help you. The second thing is, probably something you already know. I'm telling you to suck eggs right now, but use a band. Use a band at the start. Absolutely no shame in that, and it's going to help you loads. A band, obviously just going to give you that extra momentum
When you're going up.
This is a massive one. To be fair, this is probably the biggest one that helped me, which is emphasize the swing. Like you swing like you're swinging like Tarzan on a tree. You know, swing like this. You want to be swinging loads, because again, it's all about momentum. The more swing you have when you're swinging back, it's just going to be easier to go in that motion and just swing yourself above the bar. Like that. Way easier than just trying to go for a muscle up here. You know, so you're now having to put a lot more power into that. The next thing is thinking about the angle. A muscle up and a pull up, you're going to be going for them in two entirely different ways. When you do a pull up, you're pulling directly up towards the bar, so like that. Whereas when you do a muscle up, you're pulling away from the bar. You want to be imagining that you're shooting up into the sky, you know, just fly away, mate. So you pull away like that, because when you pull away and you know you follow the steps I was talking about earlier, you're just going to fall on top of the bar. It's going to be way easier for you to go up and around the bar than instead of coming up like this and somehow trying to come over. It's going to be way harder doing it like that. Up and away and over. And the last thing, which is dependent on the individual, but I think it's worth mentioning, because when I first started doing muscle ups, I was 82 kilos and I'm 5'9" for reference, so to be honest, I didn't need to be that heavy. I'm now 74, and for obvious reasons it's made it a hell of a lot easier to do muscle ups, so maybe something to consider. The last thing I want to talk about is that, you know, with learning any calisthenic skill, like, there is a mental aspect. A lot of the times you're actually capable of doing a move physically, like you'll have the strength. You just cannot program your brain to do it yet because you're not used to it. So if you feel like, you know, sometimes you try a new tip or you take a new piece of advice in doing the muscle up and then it's just like you're getting like nowhere near as close as you were before, then just take a step back and just break it down. Like I said, like break it down into 2 movements. Really dumb it down. Do the high pull-ups, focus on putting the weight over the bar, and then do the straight bar dip. Just make it really simple for yourself. And yeah, that's all I've got to say on it, guys, to be fair. I know I've rambled a lot, but I could literally talk about muscle ups all day. Yes, I wish you all the best with your training. Just keep it simple, train hard, keep your training varied. You know, don't train muscle ups every day just because you want the muscle up. Give yourself enough time to rest and come back to it. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to release another video soon about progressing your muscle ups further. Things like, you know, different variations and adding weight. So yeah, stay tuned.